Hello. Goodness, the light here is dreadful. I'm wondering how many people might be live. I thought I'd do it this way because not everybody is on Instagram. I did a live feed on Instagram today as well, on Insta Stories, but not everybody has access to that. So I'll just sort out the lighting here. It's whoops. Not great. This is going to be a bit difficult because I thought I could do this from my mobile phone, and alas, I cannot. So I've got all this tripod set up and keen to stick to the 9 o'clock time. I couldn't use my phone. I'm having to use my laptop. So I've got to reset up how to film this, which is going to be fun. So yeah, live for the studio. It's now nighttime here. It's pretty quiet, although the locals went out today. They flouted the law. In our village, it's actually supposed to be the fiesta this week. It should be probably this weekend. Every village has a saint, and when it's their saint's day, they celebrate it. And today, or yesterday, I think was probably the saint's day, San Jose. So they were out today, being very naughty, mixing. But they were keeping a distance, but they just clearly needed to get out of their houses. A lot of the properties here don't have gardens, so it's quite hard staying indoors. It's not like British properties where you've got, that sort of typical Victorian terrace style house. So it is quite hard to stay indoors. Anyway, let's see if I can do that. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Maybe I should try and do it this side. I don't know how this is going to work. Such a pity that YouTube are being so difficult. I probably have to pay to be able to use my mobile phone. I might need to get some books. Bear with me. Books. Let's see if I can do this. Put you, whoops, sorry. Put you there. Okay, so I'm working on this piece for videos because it's easier to see, whereas the puya is so delicate and tiny, it's quite difficult for the camera to pick up what I'm doing. It's also good recording at night because the light's really bad for video cameras. So I apologize about that. I might bear that in mind for next time. But I'm keen to be able to make these things accessible to everybody. And of course, lots of people are in different time zones. So, and also people are doing different things in the day, not every single country is on lockdown, stuck at home. So I thought I'd do an evening slot. I'm going to be doing something a bit later as well tonight with Patreon. They're doing a live stream to raise money for artists who have been really heavily financially affected by COVID-19 through cancellations of exhibitions and performances. So I'm going to be joining in with them at midnight tonight. Lots of streaming today. It's good. It keeps me busy, and I don't feel like I'm going insane in my house. So for those of you who don't know, I'm living on my own up in the mountains and near a national park here in Granada in Spain at the moment. I tend to travel a lot, so I'm not usually in one country more than any other. But obviously with the borders being shut at the moment, I'm stuck. So which is fine. I'm quite happy being here. Let me just turn this around so you don't get to see me too much. Okay, so let's try and start painting this. So this is my palette. It's a bit dirty. It's what it is it's a deviled eggs tray that's being reused. If you look really close, you can see where you put the eggs. And it was given to me by a New Zealand artist, which was really sweet of her. Great. So I'm just going to do this bottom petal. I've put some ox gall in my water. So for those who didn't see the last video I did, this is the ox gall. that I've been using. I mean, you get different makes, but what it does is it makes the water more fluid. So when you're making paint, when you're doing big washes like these and you don't want it to dry halfway across the petal, Oxgall's great. It just keeps it moist for longer, which allows you to play with the paint as well for longer before it dries, which is really nice to do with watercolor, because you know what it's like once it's dry. It's dry. You can't do anything about it. So I've got big brushes for this, and I'm using cobalt blue with a dash of manganese, which I've used all of. I'm using Winsor & Newton for this. I'm mixing those two together, which is actually a colour combination I used for my Agapanthus painting. So yeah. Tell me where you all are. I'd love to know where you are if you can comment. Have I enabled comments? Yeah. So tell me, I've got 3 people watching so far. So yeah, tell me where you are and what's happening with you, and if you're in lockdown or not. I need this other light on. Oops. I have 2 lights for painting in the evening, and I have one yellow bulb, tungsten bulb, and one more fluorescent one. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, the camera's in the right place. It's quite difficult for me to set up the studio for film work because I paint on an easel. It's incredibly difficult. Let me see if I can move you a bit closer. I'm going to knock something over in a minute. I know it. There we go. That's a bit closer now. Oopla, I don't want that to spill. Just pick up that water. So it's been a good day here today in the village. Not much to report. Bread vans are still serving us, so we can still get our fresh loaf of bread every day, which is great. It means you don't have to go to the supermarket. We have an egg van as well, and a fish van, a meat van. So we're all good. I'm getting a little bit low on firewood, so I haven't lit the fire tonight. It's a little bit chilly, but yeah. So you can see I'm building up the layers slowly to create a mottled effect that's at the bottom of this flower, I'm using lots of different variations of the colour blue while I'm doing it, but sticking to Winsor & Newton's manganese blue with cobalt blue. I might wrap this up. I'm not sure if the camera is actually working. Sorry, this hasn't actually been a great video. I'm not very impressed with the platform. I'm going to just end this and just check that this is filming okay, because it doesn't look like it is. Anyway, stay safe and have a good evening.